in a minute.
Right. And that's how we get on this. You know, if she wants to make her neighbors decide that they'll wait for a reason.
Started our board or the.
It's required to just maintain, I think.
Well,
Okay.
I'll talk to you guys later. The
Good.
wedding present has already been delivered.
you know,
Oh, sure.
and we do so much every.
Okay, bye.
I will call to order the December 12th, 2022 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. It is 5:47 PM. Hillary, would you call the roll, please?
Thompson. Steiger.
Here.
Samuelson.
Here.
Forrest.
Here.
Grant.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Reagan.
Here. Item number 3 is the approval of the agenda for tonight's meeting. Did any members have any changes to the agenda for tonight? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Item number 4, approve the November 28th, 2022 minutes of the regular Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Any changes to the November 28th minutes? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion to approve the November 28th, 2022 minutes.
Second motion. Brown second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 5 is a request from Van Vliet Inc. for approval of the final plat of Norwalk Business Center, Plat 7. Elliot, would you brief us on this item, please?
Yes, this is a final plat that is a minor subdivision, so no public utilities involved or public right of way with this plat. Why is this all reached out? Just gonna go ahead and display it. There we go. So this is in the Norwalk Business Center. The business center consists of several properties along Hakes Drive, also some of the properties along Wright Road. If you've ever explored the platting in this area, this would be the 7th final plat that is being considered. And essentially what we have, go back to the aerial, what we have here is the building containing Roat is the most commonly referred to business in it. Originally Southtown Center, I believe, back when it was originally constructed. There's a green space out in front where there's some material storage going on. And the property owner wants to explore parceling off and selling that land as another development lot. So the way that we consulted with Greg Ross, the land surveyor here, he preserved the necessary setbacks to make that lot compliant with the industrial zoning. Same thing with lot 1. Mainly just had to get a little creative with the dimensioning, but it is gonna meet our zoning requirements. There's just one thing that we have to clean up on this plat to move it to council. The eastern setback on lot 1 here is shown as 50 feet. It only needs to be 10. So that's not a front or rear setback, that's a side one. And I have contacted Greg about that. So small thing to clean up, otherwise it meets the zoning ordinance. There's no site plan in front of us right now, so that'll be something else you guys will consider at a later date. Right now, this is just creating a lot of record. Happy to answer any questions. Skip Phillips is here on behalf of the application. I don't think we have Greg Ross on right now. But yeah, that's all for staff report.
Did the applicant want to make any comments to the commission tonight?
I'm here to answer any questions. If I don't know if there's any comment needed. I think Elliot did a great job.
Thank you. I did have one question, Elliot. There was mention in the staff report about some, and you just mentioned too, some storage happening on the lot currently. Is there anything that needs to happen at this stage to deal with that? Or is that something we'll deal with at the site plan phase?
That's going to be more of Well, it's gonna be between now and the site plan phase, really. Once this becomes a lot of record, there can't be storage on the site. So this can go through certainly P and Z, probably can go through council, but before we release the plat to be recorded, which is what creates the lot officially, in legal terms, the storage situation will have to be resolved, and that will have to be, those materials will have to be removed from the site. So,
He has started moving the material.
okay, terrific.
What about,
Plans to remove it all.
what about water and sewer lines? I'm guessing looking at this, water and sewer probably is.
Those are available on Hakes right now.
Okay.
The main concern that we'll look at, again, more so at the site plan phase is stormwater and just what happens with that. I know that some of these Norwalk Business Center lots kind of share a basin in some of the rears of them. We haven't taken a real in-depth study of that yet, as we're awaiting a site plan.
And then as far as water and, I guess, water lines too. And sewer, which is probably coming off of Hakes Drive, correct? Those would have to be rerouted potentially to have one going to lot one, one going to lot two.
So I think the ones that are in there right now go under the access drive. So new lines would probably just go right through about where that C3 label is in front of lot 2. When a design engineer comes in and proposes where those go, if there needs to be an easement established across any lot to make that happen, then we'll do that or make sure it happens. The record keeping when that site plan was originally approved is a little bit spotty, so we were unable to determine exactly where those service lines are. It would take some metal detector work, if you will, to locate them.
Okay.
Potentially.
Are there any members on the Zoom that wanted to comment on item number 5? Any other questions from the commission on this further deliberation? Hearing nothing, we can entertain a motion. And did this motion need to have any caveats for any reason for the things that we mentioned?
No.
I guess one more question. So the building, so we have 10 feet setback for lot 1 and lot 2. It looks like, looking at this view, the building in the lot just south west of this, it looks like it's more than 10 feet, so we're probably okay as far as setbacks on that.
So real quick I'll try to boil this down as much as I can. That lot to the south, I believe, Luke, they got a variance to build that building where it is.
Yes.
Because it's an accessory building in a front yard. So there were some details on that property that were kind of unique to it. In zoning terms here, the setback line is just going to be the first 50 feet from Hakes Drive. And it's a little deceptive because, yes, that existing building has 10 feet of separation to that parcel line. The way our zoning definitions work, any setback that isn't a front or rear setback is a side setback. And because that's backed up so much, that building can be 10 feet from that line.
Sorry, one more stupid question. So since we don't know where those utilities are, there's no easements contained in creating this lot, correct?
Correct.
Is that part of this process? Would that be a separate process if there was a utility easement needed for the existing property? I guess I don't want to be in a situation where all of a sudden we get to building something on lot 2. We go, hey, utilities for lot 1 go through right through lot 2, and lot 1 owner is tasked with relocating all of his own utilities because there's not an easement or some sort of language in there. about
So
that.
a private utility easement can be established outside of the platting process.
Okay.
And so once that site plan work is done to locate those stubs, if it turns out we need to file that easement, we'll make sure that happens.
Okay, that's a separate process.
Yes.
I just want to make sure we're covered. All right, thank you.
Ready for a motion?
Start your motion.
Second.
Lori, would you call the roll, please?
Forrest,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Steiger,
Right.
Samuelson,
Yes.
Reginator.
Yes. Item number 6 is a city council update from Ed Cool.
All right, I'll try to be brief. We did quite a bit of activity in the last council meeting, actually. And in the world of planning and zoning, the things that are important, I think, are we redesignated an urban renewal area. We did that so we could utilize that south of town in that development that we have along North River. And then we made an agreement for the shared cost of the parking lot utilities for the sports center up in the new addition. And we also approved specifications and plans for the sports center itself, both on the non-governmental side and government side. So that's moving along. Let's see. We redid the nuisance and the zoning codes, adopted those changes. And we adopted the 2021 residential code. And had a review of what proposed hotel. So those are all good things. And at the upcoming meeting, we're looking at on our agenda anyway. The annual appropriation tax increment payments south of Delaware, certifying that, which is a part new development. And the ending the legacy in Norwalk business center TIF areas, they'll be timing out. So that's a pretty big deal because that means that those taxes will be released both for the school and the county and also for us. So yeah, that'll be very helpful at the time when we're gonna need them. Let's see. And also we're removing some property from the TIF areas and up in Norwalk Central. And that's so that can be developed. I think that with some development agreements that are up there, that needs to be out of it. And we're also going to be approving the final plot of the marketplace town home. And then lastly, I understand my committee assignments are going to change. And it's been a pleasure working with this group. And this, I gotta say, this is quite strong.
Ed, you've seen me working out, haven't you? That's why you're saying that?
Now,
It's impressive.
it is, and you're a good group of folks to work with. And,
Thank
you know, you have some really good questions. Things in depth. And that makes me feel a lot better and through this rest of council as we get recommendations from you. Over the years, the biggest thing I've ever noticed is miscommunication or lack of communication between council and some P&Z sometimes. And a lot of times the council has to consider a whole array of stuff, you know, that you folks necessarily won't get burdened with, you know, in the questions that you have. And so there might not always be agreements over time. But I think that any city council welcomes a good, strong planning and zoning committee. Because you know that it's been thoroughly scrubbed before it comes to you. And one of the questions I always ask is, you know, what did P&Z say about this, right? And that's really important, I think. It is for us. Anyways, I want to thank you for the job you're doing. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your.
Ed, are you at
service.
liberty to say where the hotel is? I mean, maybe I should know this, but I don't.
What is the name of that? They were at the meeting.
Which one was that? I wasn't at the meeting, I was
AJ can tell me about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to see your moment.
No worries.
You know,
a lack of attending the meeting moment. Yeah.
Pretty optimistic, but I guess we had a couple more hotel doubles.
meeting in a high end.
Just the one, so that's nice.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, man.
National flag.
It's a national.
Item number 8 is a community development update. Luke, anything for us?
Yep, couple things, on
the kind of Norwalk central use development area. And Elliot will maybe get into a few more of the projects, but we were talking with the Diligent, the bigger development company, and they have interest or plans submitted to city for almost all of their highway frontage lots in the area. You all probably saw that Fairway put out that they have purchased the north corner of Chatham to build a new store. So lots of that Highway 28 frontage leading into our Norwalk Central area is in the more active stage of doing site plans and actually stuff that we feel a lot more confident is gonna get built. And then probably about the front third of the actual Norwalk Central town center has concept work that we feel pretty confident that that's gonna pull through with. So just talking to Diligent, you know, they're real happy with how quickly this stuff is turning around now that we've got everything in place and all that. And so, you know, when we talked with folks back when we started this whole process, before there was a Heartland Sports and a Sportsplex and Norwalk Core and all that stuff, you know, people were saying that's gonna take 10, 50 years to build out. You know, here we are, you know, a majority of it probably built out within the first 3-4 years of it. So that's pretty exciting. Other thing I wanted to mention, Ed had mentioned some other URA amendment stuff coming up. We've got another one that's in this Norwalk central area that would be normally on the next P&Z meeting, but our next P&Z meeting is canceled due to City Hall being closed. So we're gonna send out a poll tomorrow just to see what your guys' availability either next week or at some point, just to meet over a kind of a lunch hour and do a quick special meeting. Just to get that URA amendments recommended so it can keep on track. So we'll get that all squared away if you're available. So, okay, thanks Ed for his diligent time here at P&Z. He's always been a good representative at council, making sure that everyone understands what we talked about here. So
I'm glad you said that to my face.
Gosh. Elliot, do you have any other updates for us?
Luke pretty much covered it. I'm pretty excited to talk about my continuing ed stuff. But life has gotten in the way recently, so haven't had a time to prepare all that, but hopefully we're gonna be using it to guide some of the site plan design and stuff in the Norwalk Central area. And yeah, hopefully you guys find it interesting and find value in it as well. So otherwise I got nothing.
Looking forward to it. Our next meeting date is January 9th, 2022, unless we have that special meeting that Luke mentioned. At this time, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 6:04. Happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah. Circuit.
Thanks again, Ed, for all your service to us as the commission.
It's good. Yeah, and so.
Which one are they reassigning it to?
The thought is.
Do you know who's coming here?